Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're listening to this free webinar. My name is Timo Välimäki, and I'm an area sales manager here in my sweet little home country, Finland. And today, my plan is introducing a presentation about the topic how to equip service vehicles with hydraulic equipment. A few weeks ago, Topias made a preamble for this show, but today my purpose is to go a little bit deeper in a pretty much same subject. If any questions arise during this show, write and ask them in the discussion bar as better known chat. Here with me in the same chat is our project supervisor, Mr. Atte Karppinen, who is ready to give an answers for the questions. So, are you with me? Here we go, let's move on. There are different types of service vehicles from bigger to smaller ones. Vehicle might be chosen by the purpose of use. Smaller vehicles might be selected by the lower driving license requirement. If there are, for example, several employees who's driving the same car. In addition, there usually are lower operation costs. In larger ones, reason would be space, that you got more for use. Then you got more load capacity. Also, you just got more power available for the use. And typically more power also means more hydraulic power. And in this case, size really does matter. Whatever the chosen vehicle is, building a hydraulic system is almost always possible, even though there might be some limitations. First option is engine PTO. With this, it's possible to use hydraulic equipment while driving and stationary. Need to use PTO while driving is typical if you need to heat some resistors, for example. Second option is a transmission PTO. With this, it's possible to use hydraulic equipment while stationary only. You know, it's pretty hard situation if you press the clutch in the traffic lights, for example, and product should still work. It's hard. But anyway, it usually keeps also the maximum output torque of the PTOs, and there are manufacturers like Pesares for Euro models and Munchi Power for US models. Third option is Dynaset HPTO, which is possible to use hydraulic equipment while driving and stationary. And necessary to notice physical size of the high-speed pump and lower oil flow, especially while driving. 28 cc, it's pretty often used size. Sometimes 45 cc might fit also. Some smaller installation-ready kits are available from AEC to Euro models and from Dynaset to US models. HPTO is suitable not only inline motors but also transverse motors. As you've seen in the picture below, there is an extra sub in transverse motor. Let's move on. Have you decided on wanted Dynaset products, and do you already have a vehicle? First question is what customer needs. You may also have a vehicle already, but in my opinion, ideal situation is choosing wanted Dynaset products and purpose of the vehicle exactly before acquiring it. There are some technical reasons that may affect to the right decision. In fact, it depends about the purpose, products, and the way of use altogether. Harder devices require more from hydraulics, so it's good to confirm power requirements, especially if you got multiple products to use at the same time. And that's the reason what I mentioned before about choosing the car. Anyway, we are ready to serve you here in Dynaset, give some recommendations and measuring the system, but still there might be some things to clarify first. Filling the Dynaset vehicle initial information form is recommended when you are planning to equip a car with our products. And here is this form. Section 1 is requested PTO. Is it engine, transmission, or Dynaset HPTO? Desired engine speed. With a little bit bigger pump, it's possible to get lower RPM. Is the use driving during drive or while stationary? Something like that. Section 2 is about PTO and probably the pump if it already exists. PTO, which one of them is it? Is it engine, transmission, HPTO? Also PTO's gear ratio and rotation needed. Is it clockwise or counterclockwise? And if the PTO is, for example, left-hand rotation, you always need to choose reverse pump model then, which means in this case right-hand rotation pump. Also maximum power and torque needed, and the type of the pump attachment flange, better known coupling. It could be like ISO 7653 or Unit 3, which is quite rare. It could be possible that hydraulic pump already exists. Then we should get all notable information about that. If the existing pump is too tiny and or the engine speed is too high, then we need to check the alternative pump models. But honestly, sometimes it's almost impossible to get the information about this, but we really need it. Next is wanted Dynaset products. You need to list all the Dynaset products that want to be equipped. Other means every other product that works hydraulically in the same system. For example, loader cranes. And last section 4 is vehicle information. Make, model, engine, etc., etc. Win or chassis number usually gives the most information. All notable information added, and one of the most important things is RPM control to raise the engine speed to the desired range. Is this option already existing? Pictures, drawings, anything, better more than less information. Ask this form from our sales. Let's move on. Now we got an example, which is fictional, but might be also truly. Customer needs electricity for a Kemppi 2530 welding machine and other tools. Customer also needs compressed air for refilling tires and an extra output for testing hydraulic cylinders. Customer already have a brand new vehicle, Volvo FL, with D8K 250 engine and GTO 1006 manual gearbox. Customer tells that using is only stationary, but there might be moments with several employees when they are using tools at the same time. Well, that's an example. Then we need to pick up the Dynaset products. On the company's website, Kemppi is advising to use over 50 kilovolt amperes generator, and that's Dynaset's recommendation also. So that's why we choose HG90 generator. Of course, we need an information about the frequency and voltage then. In addition, is the generator so-called VF model with sockets, or do we want a separate central box with cable connection?
Ceux qui vont être alternatifs dans le fond, d'habitude, ils l'ont tout après la grille en arrière.
You need to put mute on and ask the questions in a discussion bar here in chat. Remember that. It is temporarily used to instead of 24/7 use to refill tires. So we pick up the HK1000 piston compressor. High pressure 12 bar and flow rate is also better in such a case like that. And about the compressor, we need to check also exact model. Do we want an extra air tanks? Do we want a compressor starts against pressure? And that's why we need some automatic stopping. And then it seems that Volvo FL got pretty well PTO options to both engine and transmission. But in this example, we decided to use a transmission PTO because the using is only stationary. Notable is that there are different speed ratios between different transmissions. You know, do you see the red rings in a chart? In the right side of them, if we got a transmission ZTO 1109, the speed ratio would be increased with another PTO, and with another PTO there is actually wouldn't be an option at all. Connection type pump usually means a female coupling. It's marked in yellow, and the flange is often standard 2. And this DIN 5462, also called ISO 40, is a SAT type 8x32x36. And ISO 7653 is a flange type 4x80 millimeters bolt division. Dynaset requirements. HG90 generator takes 66 liters and piston compressor takes 34 liters, both with maximum pressure 210 pars. Combined, it is 100 liters per minute. PTO choices. We took a connection type pump. with female coupling because it's the most common type, and then we got two choices left. One of these is lower maximum torque and increasing speed ratio, and other is higher maximum torque with decreasing speed ratio. Here is calculation formula, and in this formula, those two numeric values are constant. So we see the pump. We see the maximum size of the pumps. Another is 95 cc, and another is 135 cc. Now we got information of the biggest possible pump size. Choosing the hydraulic variable displacement pump, we got 3 different pump sizes with another PTO. And 2 sizes for another. Then we got actually 5 different options. Measuring the rounds with the different pump sizes. Let's calculate all the possible options as mentioned. With another PTO there is 2 options, and with another there is 3 options. That means in totally 5, as I already mentioned. Most of the pumps are suitable. In this case, though 60 cc pump is quite more with another PTO, and with another PTO there is maybe a little too high RPM, so we click it up and not choose this one. But anyway, several choices gives possibility to check the price and availability, and that's always a good thing. In this case, we will choose following other hydraulic components. We choose modular installation valves with an extra output, and that is adjustable. And then we pick up oil reservoir tank, 120 liters. It's large enough because of cylinder use. You know, cylinders might be quite large size. There might be a lot of oil inside of them. It depends about the cylinder size. And then we pick up oil cooler 50 kilowatts. And remember that always in the system itself, bends and curves also produce some heat. When we calculate the needed cooling power, we also take our LS pressure into account, which is about 20 bars. And basic instruction towards a successful installation. First, follow the hydraulic and electric schematic. Then make sure that that all equipment have enough ventilation. And remember, there's a lot of information in our product manuals. Make sure that the hoses don't touch any heat source. And take into consideration that the road conditions when mounting, you know, it might be 1.2 G-force in them. Hoses, pipes, hydraulic oil itself, everything needs to be super cool, super clean. More notes you should consider during installation. Always fill a hydraulic pump's casing with oil before use. I mean, never use dry. Keep in mind the needed ease of access for later maintenance. Sometimes the vehicle's body needs to be modified for fitting a pump, or it may need some extension adapter, for example, crossing the garden. Think about the right schedule for vehicle's possible accessories and furnitures. And bleeding the hydraulic system is also very important. Then connecting the hoses to the pump, to the oil reservoir, to the oil cooler, to the model valves. You see the lines marked by color, all 4 lines: pressure, tank, LS line, drain line. All the tank lines from every equipment, including model valves interface, should be combined in return terminal block before going to tank. Then wirings. From the ignition switch, DC electricity is directed to the control box and further to the power outputs, which means coils of model valve, cooler and tank. And from the generator, AC electricity is directed to the central box. Remember that these 2 boxes do not converse with each other in any way. And separate emergency circuit is always needed when devices got potential risk of injury. Finalize the system and do a test drive. Fill the oil tank with a suitable hydraulic oil. 32 is quite good option. Run the system with idle speed for 10 minutes under 50 bar pressure and check the system for possible leaks. Adjusting the system in this LS pressure. Install 2 pressure gauges, one for pressure line and another for LS line. Calculate pressure differentiation between gauges. In LS line, 210 bars, pressure line, 230 bar. Then actually LS pressure 230 minus 210, it's 20 bar. In the product manual, there are guides to lose the lock nut of the regulation and adjust it. And the LS pressure is 20 bar, like before when we calculated the needed cooling power. Then working pressure. Install pressure gauge to the pressure line and install ball valve to a pressure line and raise the pressure level with that. Pressure limitation should be 20 bar lower than pressure relief valve, also called shock valve. And in this example, pressure relief is 230 and then pressure limitation is 20 bars lower, which means 210. Ensure that the Dynaset equipments work correctly. Make sure that the current frequency is correct and adjust it if need. And when measuring a frequency, you need to always use true RMS multimeter, not any cheap one. But after this, the system is tested and vehicle is ready to work. And then we hopefully get a surprise. One of our listeners should join in this webinar. Tero Saari from NEC company. Company NEC is a vehicle bodybuilder and Dynaset customer that equips some service vehicles with Dynaset products. NEK, Närpiön erikoiskorit in Finnish, which means in English, Närpiö's special vehicle bodies. Tero, can you hear me? Are you in there?
Yes, I can hear you very well. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Good to hear you. Good to hear you. Can I ask you a few questions?
Yes, please. First of all, I want to apologizing that I'm sitting in the car and looking this performance from a telephone, and of course I have to focus it on the traffic also.
I think maybe you should pull over.
Yes, but I have a hands-free. That's please carry on.
Yeah. Well, if you can handle this, it's not my problem. But anyway, it's good to hear you and getting on it with this. But first of all, what do you think about this webinar? Has it been useful, and has there been any new information for you?
Yes, there are maybe some topics have become, but of course this situation, I'm sitting in the car, I have to be serious, have to focus it mostly in traffic, and I cannot those slides what you saw and perform it. I didn't just a quick looking and mostly listening, but of course there's some points that stuck in over, can say, but there are coming some new things what I haven't taught, or something that should it be like this and this, but I think those few topics were quite be necessary for us, and of course I'm the salesman. The technique, we have a technical part and support, and the guys who will handle this mostly. So my thing is the big picture, I can say that.
Yeah. Of course, and we do have a. There was a Tony in your company also, but he couldn't get here. But the good thing is that you are in here with us, and nice to hear. And remember, Tero, this is recorded, so you can check it afterwards also. But tell us something about your company. What sets you apart from other companies? Do you have some special features, or how many vehicles you produce yearly?
We are traditionally bodybuilder in Finland, and we are producing the first we have started since 1985, and we are producing the big picture where we have started. They are distribution bodies, like I think so. The service trucks are mainly doing the first of all of that, but then there are coming lots of more questions about this kind of isolated boxes in service use. And
yeah.
we have, in this position, I have been sales manager in 14 years in this company, and the first of year 2000, something about 20 years ago, we started to build to separate the heavy service trucks, and I think the most important thing is that we have a lot of experience and we have a great co-operators who understand the situation that there wouldn't be this kind of products that we started the point that we don't have lots of knowledge, and there was something new, and of course they have been very understandable, and like also that, hey, let's make this kind and this kind, and let's start from prototypes, and we devoting all the time for experience what's coming on the fields, that this works, this can be better this way. And of course during all these years we have standardizing more and more our solutions, and I think we nowadays we are quite good set, like so that we are producing different kind of service trucks, something between 30 to 60 units per year. Most and the marketing area is mainly in Finland and Norway.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, there are many special features that apart from other companies, as you mentioned. Then how did you find Dynaset, and how did our cooperation begin? Where was it exactly?
I think that when I started in my position, there are coming some how can we say, a little trucks what we are equipping, not totally but partly, and those panel vans on and that kind of things, and we put something equipment there, some tool shelf and that kind of things. And many times when we have done our part to ready, the customer said that now you have to many times we discussed that where we deliver this car, this is ready now. It should be drive to in Tampere, we mounting that Dynaset. They're coming Dynaset. You should drive it that point and that point. They're coming a Dynaset. Dynaset. They're coming a Dynaset 1, 2, 3, and of course, go to the website and look. And this happening something about 10 years ago. Then we getting a little bit more, of course, more information. We were interested of this, and of course you hear some things that this is quite a wonderful thing, that lots of power with quite easily, the main thing. And of course our products, their size, it's growing all the time, and meaning that of course everybody knows that the machinery and everything's are bigger today, and you need more power and more air and that kind of things. But that's how it started, and then of course we take contacting you, and so we have start together this cooperation.
But as so many times before, the pressure comes from the customers, and when you go to the net site, this Fixture 660 is pretty well equipped with our products, and I'm very grateful about this all. But what do you think about the difference between Dynaset products and gasoline powered products? I mean, you tell about the size. Dynaset products is quite small.
Yeah, of course the size, and of course the of course gasoline, if it's because we have this everybody in Nordic climate, it's a quite rough. There might be minus 30 degrees, and if you think that the service truck that is your workshop where the guys working, it should be warm, but there cannot be gas or gasoline smells and diesel oil of that kind of things. And our thought is that kind of these equipments have to be inside the isolated box, not the outside, because there might become some problems. And if you think you are middle of the nowhere, you have to refill it for the gasoline, and it's outside, and there is a snow, half-meter snow, and minus 20 degrees. It ain't so funny. And of course, the noise level is one thing, and of course there are coming some noise. Of course, this Dynaset, of course, but I think that's the main thing that the gas and that kind of things that it's much more useful, usable to use. I think so. That's much more handy. And of course you can, and that's more, of course, if you think in just generator, but also the another equipments that meaning for example now the compressor. Mostly we added a compressor also. That it's the same series, same we can say same Dynaset family. That's much more easier. You have some kind of gasoline aggregate, then you have choose some electricity compressor and how to fit it together and how to plan it. They are much more bigger size. Of course, the box size are limited. There isn't. Everybody needs a lot of spare parts in the car, and rather we feel those. The customer wants to so much free space. What is the available, and that's one thing also. They are mostly the physical size is much more bigger of those.
In a gasoline products, so much things to care, and if what about to say about noise? Of course, the generators are nowadays the silent models, and for example, the screw compressor is the best compressor model to build a box and kill the noise over it. How about the inverter technology? In which case is the Dynaset is a better option?
Did you say invert? Just
a
little bit.
Inverter.
Yes. Of course, in our cases and our customers, like I said, these are heavy duty trucks for service, and meaning that we need a lots of, for example, bolt knobs and big drills, and they need lots of power. And of course, the hand tools are in many cases they are getting little. They are too small. Of course, there are lots of cases that almost 90%. No, 70%. We are the cars we are mounting a Dynaset. They are coming also this inverter system. That's why of course every company almost today also using hand tools, and they have to charge during when they are driving, and that's much more easier if you have hand tools, and those are at this use they are quite handy. Of course.
You mean inverter is well option for small electricity, but if you need to really do work, then Dynaset. Let's talk about our cooperation. As we know, you are also using a help of local hydraulic specialist in installations, which is a long-time Dynaset customer also. So how this operating model has worked?
I think it's necessary to us. We cannot. We are producing all kind of boxes, something between 250 to 300. That's our capacity every year. Different kind of isolated boxes, building on a car, not trailers or that kind of things. But we don't have capacity and we don't have knowledge. Perhaps those there are some points, and of course there are lots of we are using lots of subcontractor, because for example cooling units for the distribution bodies we never have mounted them by self, because you don't have to do everything by yourself. That I think that it isn't wise. You have to invest into machineries, and you need big storage. We have, if we ask to the owners, we have totally way too big storage all the time, of course. Mm. But so, I think that fits for us very well.
Yeah. You focus in your specialties.
Yes.
And how Dynaset handle asked support requests?
I think it's our technical guys are to answer this better. But what I have asked when and I'm quite I'm making my movements every time very fast. I cannot wait. I'm so stubborn. Yes, I'm a salesman. If I need to answer, I want it right now. And Timo, I think you know that. And
you needed it yesterday.
Yes, and if I'm not satisfied, you will hear it. But mainly, I can say that you have helped us when we ask me.
Good to hear. What is the most memorable project you have made in history, and why is that? And same question with equipped Dynaset products also.
I don't want to be bored, but I hope that is coming for the future. That's the most important. But that I can mention it.
Yeah.
And this ain't have nothing to do with Dynaset, and I haven't been there. But the whole company history, the most famous thing that we have making products in James Bond movie. That's the, that's perhaps the. But it ain't relevant from this point. But I just mentioned it. That's
okay.
And we have something special.
Am I right? With Dynaset products also there was some racing.
Yes, that's the one thing that's of course that can say it, that there is we can say the world champions that Toyota Gazoo racing team, the headquarter is in Finland nowadays, the rally team, and of course everybody knows that's a Japanese company, but they are building we have built this kind of service trucks. We started, first one was about 5 years ago, and I think this partnership has been successful to us, and also this Tiki Air Europe, and they are pretty much satisfied with our products and also this Dynaset products also. I think we have answered their calls.
Yeah. I think pretty many of here knows Tommy. Yeah. Knows Tommy, but let's go on. What is best chassis for building service vehicles if you are taking different, if you're thinking different models and marks, is there difference?
I think the way how the customer will choose the chassis, I think actually it doesn't matter which one is it a Volvo, Mercedes, Iveco. We have built it all. The main thing is that customer, when he started to plan this kind of products, that he proceeds, that we get the knowledge what he wants, what is the need, what use, and that's the most thing that you can learn to car salesman, that hey, this what we are producing on this project, that's much more important thing than your car. Sorry, but you have to listen to us, that we decide wheelbases and equipment, but coming from the factory, the gasoline tank, if it's available from, for example, on the left side, it shouldn't be there, and these kind of things are most important. I think it ain't so relevant which car is it. I think we can build on any car, and hey, we don't want to choose our customers, they have to choose us.
Yeah. Anyway, it's my way. How long it usually takes to equip a vehicle with Dynaset products? Of course, I know it depends about the system, but if you equip it products, for example, generator, screw compressor, and power washer all together.
This is quite hard question to me, because I'm looked totally time for the mounting and what is the breaking through time of the whole project. That's a much more relevant to me, and of course, my opinion, that's always takes too long. But and the customers agree with that. But of course we have but I think when the car when we are delivered our chassis in the right moment, at the moment when we are delivering the chassis to our subcontractor, to our partnership who will mounting these Dynaset products, and there might be something also something else. He makes for example the building these airlines and these kind of things also. I think the car is spending there 1 week, and of course the actual time when you are mounting these, I cannot say that. I'm the wrong guy to answer for this, but but it's our technical guys are much more better. This sorry, this I can exactly.
No, it's okay. Right. It's okay. What Dynaset products you are using, and what purpose? You know, is there some certain industry, and what kind they are to equip? If we are thinking the way of easy installation.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah,
you can know.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Thank you. But the main thing, I think the customers we are producing and buy these neck fixer heavy duty service trucks. Of course, they are going to excavation industry, marine industry, mining industry, and of course the agriculture machinery also. That I think there all kind of things where are big machines which need service and repair. That's the main thing. So, for example, if you have a big excavator machine and it's somewhere sandpit or somewhere, and you have to make a service, there are 2 options. You take this big machine on the top of the car, for example, driving with a truck with this machine about 100 kilometers. Then you have somewhere you have a garage, and then you make a service and go back.
or you can take this truck and drive this beside of this evacuator, and then for example we can say the service takes 2 hours. Everybody can count that, which is efficiency between the efficiency of this if working traditionally, or because we have all oil systems and we have waste oil tanks built in under the car, under the chassis, and these kind of things, that it's a real repair workshop, the whole car. And there are, of course, the Dynaset is a big part, because we need power.
Well, there
and
are,
that kind of things.
Yeah. There was many good examples about the industries. What is the most notable thing to consider when you are building a service vehicle? The
like
most
I
notable
said,
thing.
Yes, the chassis, of course, that it fits to our thoughts and our constructors, because like I said before, that it's most important that we can influence when the customer has choosing the car. The main thing the customer, I think so, that he can pick up Volvo or Renault or Iveco or Mercedes or Scania if he wants. Yes, but after that, when he has a decide label, we have the technical details that those things he have to ask and hear us. I think that's because it's very expensive if we have planned it for this kind of chassis, this kind of box, and there are lots of stuff, and then we are putting those two pieces together, that car and box, and then coming, it doesn't fix, and if you have to repair after that, everybody knows it ain't so smoothly, and it's costs, and there are coming, and if you mostly if there are some problems in construction, there isn't. It's quite common that it's not only a one. They're coming after that 2, 3 more worries more. That's the, and so the planning is the key word, and we have experience and plan.
And synergy is important. Yeah, but then final question.
Really?
Do you believe that our cooperation will continue? And I can give you 2 options to answer, and one of them is definitely, and the another is hell yeah. Which one do you pick up?
I think the Oasis band, rock band, they have definitely maybe very great song. I love this kind of rock music, but if that comes to first in my mind, I can say, of course, we also need those who will buy our products, and of course, if this continues like the way it's nowadays, it's hell yeah, of course. I think so. There isn't. I don't know. Of course, there are some might say that of course, there are some customers said that it must to be so cheap that you can produce it. Of course, meaning little ones, everything is smaller, cheaper. Of course, that's another thing. But the real professionals, they understand what is the big relevant questions and things, and these guys and women also, we can say that these products are the right choice.
Yeah, good to hear. Good to hear.
Yeah,
I guess this is it. So I need to say thanks to you, Tero, and you should drive carefully there, wherever you are.
I have 150 kilometers to left to home.
Oh, yeah. With sauna on.
Yes, like every night.
Yeah. But Anyway, thanks for this.
Thank you.
And we will hear later. So
thank you
bye
very
then.
much.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much for
Bye.
this and have a great evening to everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, it was Tero, and we got a pretty not so much time left, but doesn't matter because this is a last slide. It's a half hour about the installation example and a half hour about an interview. So remember that every case is different. In this time, it was load sensing system with variable displacement pump. It also might be a system with fixed displacement pump. And there might be 2 pumps in use also. So next time a different presentation will be made. But now I need to say thanks for all the listeners, and remember to keep safe and to get more information from www.dynaset.com. Here's a list of sources, pictures that I've used in this show. So thanks to all.